Hello to another Me First TV. I am your host, Patricia Wilson. I had to think about my name for a second. I am a coach and an energy practitioner who helps people simplify transformation through the Me First method, which I developed over 12 years ago. And I have used this method with clients and personally to overcome many challenges, and I hope it can help you do the same. So one of the things that I talk to my clients about and what they like to ask me about a lot is how to know when the universe is communicating with you. And more importantly, how can you interpret what it's trying to tell you? So in yesterday's show, we talked about some of the tools that you can use to get closer to spirit, just as, all the ways that we can ground ourselves using our bodies and those tools. We talked about essential oils and crystals and prayer and candles. And of course, I touched on oracle cards, which we'll talk about a little bit more, because I want to talk today about signs and synchronicities and my favorite tool of communication, which is the cards, and how I use them when I really need an answer. All right, so we're going to talk about that today. But before we begin, let us, we're going to do our little warm up. So as I get ready for this warm up, it has been quite a day, people. Let me just be honest with you. It has been a day. Awesome things and just other challenges. And that's why this is important. This work that we do together is important because you've probably had a day too, whether today was your day or you had a terrible day yesterday or maybe later will be hard. Regardless of how you struggle or when you struggle, the Me First ritual, which we do together every time, is something I find really easy to just go back to, ground yourself quickly. There are many ways you can ground yourself, go outside, get your feet in the ground. That's literally grounding yourself. But getting back into your body and calibrating your energy is just really, really important, especially if you have to deal with anything that may be uncomfortable or challenging in your life. Hi, Linda. Welcome. All right. So if you have not done so yet, please go and subscribe to Me First TV on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and just put that little @ symbol, Me First TV, and it'll show up. And you ding that little bell so that you can get notifications of when I'm going live. Also, before we begin, if you have not yet downloaded your free Me First TV guide with simple transformation practices, please go ahead and do that now. The description is, the link is in the description here of this video. It's just go to bit.ly, Me First free guide is where you can find it. And it includes everything. It's just like a quick reference guide. So it includes how to calibrate your energy, which is a lot of what we've been talking about. And everything on the list of how to calibrate your energy is everything we've been talking about this week and also last week. I'm going deep into each way you can calibrate so that you're really clear. And so this quick reference guide will just be a way for, once you see it, you'll know, oh, I remember she spoke about that. I know how to do that. So that's part of what I want to support you with this channel. So that guide has the how to calibrate your energy information, the Me First Moments ritual, including the prayer if it's something you want to follow along with or say for yourself, a quick GPS activity so you can figure out what your GPS word is, the daily ABCs, which is an important exercise that I encourage people to do, which we will also talk about soon if you don't know what that is yet, and also a simple guide to managing stress, because I am sure if you're watching me, you probably have had some stress in your life and you might want to know how to manage it. So go ahead and get that free guide right now. All right. So let's begin our routine. First thing I'll do is light my candle. You can light my candle. That's, yep, I like to sing it. What can I tell you? I'm just going for it these days, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here we go. Our candle is lit. And we had talked about yesterday using a candle if you need to meditate and you want to kind of get out of your head. It's a great way to just stare at the flames and watch them intently and see what messages they want to send you with their little dance. At least that's what I do, so I'm just sharing it with you if you want to try too. All right, so now we lit our candle. I like doing a little, there's like hardly anything here, but when I shake it like this, it does. The smell does come out and come on the palm of my hand, so I will do that. That's good. Okay. And now we're going to take 3 deep breaths together, okay? And I keep these exercises super simple. You can, of course, do more breathing exercises. You can do yoga, you can do dance, all the things. But I just want to show you how simple it can be in just a few short minutes. You can set yourself up, you can reset yourself, you can calibrate your energy to be able to handle whatever's coming next in your day. Oh, yay, Leslie, hi. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for coming. This is so great. All right, so let's do this breathing together. So do 3 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in, and you're going to hold for 5, and release. Okay, now we're going to do that again. The idea is we want to take a deep, deep breath. We want to increase our capacity to hold that breath. And so we take a deep breath as much as you can, and then hold it for 5 seconds, and then release. And you release for longer than you inhale. This signals to your body that you are safe, right? By releasing the exhale. So you breathe in through your nose, you hold it, and then you release through pursed lips. So smell the flowers, hold, and then blow out the candle. You know, if you want to share this with your kids as an easy activity or exercise. Okay, ready? Hold. And release. Beautiful. Okay. Now we're going to do a little stretching. So if you are standing, that's, stretch as much of your body as you can. Wherever you're feeling stuck or stagnant energy, where you're feeling pain or tension, anywhere that feels like it needs to be released, that's what you can do. You can start releasing that energy by stretching and breathing into the parts where you feel pain. And when you release it, just imagine that pain, that tension is just going out of your body, and allow Mother Nature to transmute it into whatever it needs, okay? But just out of your body. And now we shake, 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 okay? And touching base with your body, getting grounded in your body is really important for you to be able to manage your emotions, for you to handle any challenges that come your way. You need to be connected to your body, because your body is going to be talking to you, and your instincts are going to be telling you what to do next. And so if you can sort of get into your body and outside of the outside world, then the choices and the actions and the decisions that you make will be made from a grounded place, and not from a place that's somewhere not connected to who you really are. Okay, so now let's say our little prayer together. If you want to join me with my prayer, if you have your free guide and have the prayer there, then go right ahead and join me. Otherwise, you can say your own prayer, or just simply stay silent and set the intention to call in for your spiritual support team for whatever you need today. Okay, so here we go. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, my love, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day, and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sending signs and synchronicities and messages to all those who are listening. Let them hear what they need to hear for their highest good. Thank you, thank you, thank you for always supporting us in moving forward for the highest and greatest good of humanity in our evolution. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. I know I say thank you a lot, but it's really like the thing you need to do the most, okay? So if I say it 150 times, it's still not enough, okay? All right, so let me ask you, now that we've sort of set our intentions and set our prayer, do you have something that's weighing on your mind? Maybe you have a big decision to make and you're unclear which direction is in your highest good or the highest good of everyone involved. Do you struggle taking action with important steps because of fear, and you desperately wish you had the right answer that will support your goals and aspirations in the future? Well, I think about this and I just want to say, so often I find myself in that place where I know what I need to do, I know what I have to do, but I'm not quite sure how to go about it, right? And how do you get the answer, right? There are so many options. When I'm struggling, when there's something that I just like, it's a big, important decision and it's something I really have to do, there are several steps that I take. Usually I'll call a friend or, reach out to a mentor. This is something that you can do too. Like maybe you do some internet research or, you get the information you need in order to be able to make an educated decision. Right? But what happens when you've gotten everybody's advice and opinion and you have all the information that you need to make your decision, but you're paralyzed and you just can't decide because it feels too important and you don't want to mess up? I've been in that situation so many times and I felt anxious and stressed out and really distraught. And after calling my circle of trust and asking their opinion and sitting with it myself, there are two things that I will do when I don't know what to do. Right? Number one, I will ask for a sign. And number two, I will pull cards. And so that's what we're going to talk about today specifically. So asking for a sign is one of the ways where you can begin to develop communication with the higher consciousness, right? You ask the universe, you ask God, you ask whatever you connect with for a sign, right? And the sign you ask for, the sign you receive, or the sign you don't receive are all dependent on the intention that you set. Okay, so I'll give you an example. My kids were off school and I was debating whether or not to go to Toronto to visit my family, and for several reasons I didn't know what to do. The kids were off and it was a significant chunk of time, but my parents were in Portugal, so I wasn't going to see them. It was going to be a great opportunity to, see other friends and family, and I had a place to stay, but I could feel the resistance in my children that for whatever reason, they didn't seem excited to go. And that's not usual. Usually they like to go. So let me just turn off my phone so it doesn't beep. And I also had some resistance and I couldn't figure out why. And sometimes I'm like, am I resisting because I'm lazy? I don't want to do anything. It feels too comfortable to stay where I am, which I have to consider. Or is there something instinctually that's telling me this is not the right time to go, that I should do something else with my time? And I really didn't know what to do. And like I said, what are the two things I do? Well, the first thing I do is ask my friends and talk to some people and try to, because very often when you talk to other people, you want their advice, but what you're really looking for is you're looking for something that resonates with you. You're looking for something that's like, oh yes, that's why I don't want to go. That makes sense. Yes, right? You're looking for something to agree to. You're looking for someone to give you the answer that makes the most sense to you, right? But once you've spoken to everybody and you still don't have an answer, you still have to figure it out yourself and decide for yourself. And so I said, I do two things. I ask for a sign and I pull cards. And so in this case, the sign that I asked for was for a blue jay to show up in my backyard. If the answer was yes, because Blue Jay, of course, Toronto Blue Jays. And so that made sense to me. And for a cardinal to show up, if the answer was no, that I shouldn't go to Toronto. And the cardinal made sense to me because number one, it's red. So that's like red means no. And also the cardinal is, sort of, as I have seen it as a sign as my husband showing up. So it's like, he represents home. So then I should stay home, right? So I let it go for like a couple of days and I wasn't getting an answer and I waited. And I waited because I trusted that I would receive my answer. And if I didn't get an answer, because sometimes that happens where you don't get an answer, I knew that it was something that I had to do on my own, that I had to make the decision on my own. And that will happen sometimes. And when I don't get an answer and I know I need to make that decision on my own, I really feel like it's a little message from the universe that's like, you don't need us for this. You got this. You know what you want to do. Just do it. Right. And that, is sometimes part of your own growth, right? Sometimes the universe won't say anything and give you an answer because you have to figure it out on your own. for whatever reason. And that's part of your growth. And that's part of the experience that you need to have. But most of the time, the universe will send you a sign. And it did. And the sign that it sent me was a blue jay in my backyard. Sorry, not a blue jay. It was a cardinal in my backyard. What actually ended up happening was I was looking out my backyard, and this was like 3 days later, and I thought I saw a blue jay fly into my tree. And I was like, oh, it's a blue jay. I guess we're going to Toronto. And then out pops a little cardinal like, hi, nope, you were wrong. And here's the important part. The important part is that I set the intention that no matter what showed up, I was going to follow through. And that's the important part, okay? Because I asked the universe for a sign, and I promised myself and the universe, right? Because it's a relationship, right? It's a relationship that my relationship with the universe, my relationship with my higher consciousness, whatever that is. I promised that I would abide by that sign no matter what. And each time I do that, each time I allow the universe to show me what I've asked for it to show me, I strengthen the trust in my relationship with that higher consciousness, right? I am intending that I will trust that whatever guidance I receive will be what I do. I will trust that it is in my highest and greatest good. However, if you don't get a sign, as I had mentioned earlier, or if you don't like the sign that you get, it's important that you recognize this as information and then decide based on your values and ideally your GPS word what your decision should be, right? So for example, I didn't get a sign, I have nothing, right? Did you ever hear that saying like silence is an answer, right? Like, just like when people ghost you, like that is your answer, right? So if you don't get a sign in a positive direction, then you already know that there's stickiness around it and you probably should wait or not go ahead with what you're doing. However, you have free will and you can technically do whatever you want. Okay. So even if the universe, even if I saw the cardinal and went, you know what, I still want to go and went anyway, that is my choice. I have free will. I can absolutely do that. And I'm not going to get punished for it by the universe. But what does happen is that because I made a choice that was different from what I was looking for, then it means that now I'm taking responsibility for whatever that choice is. And so whether it's in my best interest or not, I am taking full responsibility for that choice. And it's not that I don't have the support of the universe. It's just like that wasn't what was the recommendation, right? Like, when you go and do things and it's like recommended and you're like, I don't need to do this. And that's your choice. But if your intention is to build a stronger relationship with spirit, if you want to build that trust where you can look to, guidance to get what you need when you really need it, well, then that is when you have to start really taking those signs seriously and following through, okay? Also, pay attention, because if you get a sign and you realize that you didn't want that sign, that information is important as well. And you may need to look at that and figure out, oh, wow, I didn't want that to be the answer. Why didn't I want that to be the answer? And you may have to do a little work on yourself or really some reflection to figure out why you didn't want to do that, if that's important to you. You may not have realized that you didn't want that answer until the answer came. Once again, that is information that's important for you to listen to. It's just for you to know. All right. So that's, sorry, my puppy. Okay. So if you ask for the sign and don't follow through with it, understand how you're impacting your relationship, because then you're just saying to the universe, I'm going to do what I want. And that's okay. You can do what you want, but understand that then you're not building the relationship. You are continuing to just do what you want. And that's okay, but take full responsibility for it if that's the case. And now the second thing that I would do if I didn't know what to do and I really needed an answer is I would go to my cards, okay? And so this is the time in the show where I usually, soon, pull cards anyway, and you guys know how I feel about cards. But what I want to talk about is that, cards are used, and I have these oracle cards, and cards are used for many reasons. And sometimes people use them as divination tools to get answers, to get, answers about what's coming in the future or what the energy says. And that's how I like to use it in terms of, getting the energy of what's coming. I use the cards as information. And that's what's really important to understand, is that anything that you receive, any information that you get, any cards that show up, it is information for you to use how you see fit. And when you're if cards interest you, and when you're first working with cards, I really, especially oracle cards, but tarot cards too, if you know what every card represents, if you know what the cards mean, or if it's an oracle card deck and you look at the meanings and you kind of understand what they are, understand that there is the meaning, the surface meaning of the card, whether it's tarot or oracle, right? And then there's what that card means to you. And that's an important piece of the puzzle, because sometimes a card will show up and it will immediately send you a message, in the sense of something will come up for you when you see the card, right? For example, any one of these cards, right? So it's okay, rock bottom. That's the first card I picked. So rock bottom. I may see this card and see rock bottom and instantly feel that what it's talking about is the end of a relationship, right? That's not what I'm seeing, but okay. I might just be oh my God, rock bottom. This, the second I see this card, I'm it's the end. It's over, right? It's over. And if you read what the card says about rock bottom, it may not connect with what your first instinct was, but your first instinct is the message, right? Because the universe is going to communicate with you in the way that you are accustomed, right? It is your nuances, it is your language, it is your imagery that is being reflected back to you. So if you see a card that says balancing act, and in here it talks about whatever the balancing act card means, but when you see this, you actually know that you are on shaky ground, and you look at it and you go, God, I'm really on shaky ground with my life. It may have a completely different meaning for you. And once again, I just want to encourage you to know that the message that you receive in your head, that image that pops up, the idea, oh, does this mean this? The answer is yes. What you think of, what you come up with, what resonates with you is the answer. Now, you may not like the answer. You may not want to hear that answer, but that's the answer. And how you end up developing a relationship with spirit through these cards is by understanding that you don't have to try and figure out what the universe is telling you. You have to establish the language that you are using with the universe and be super clear, with your words, with your intentions, and especially with your actions, so that that communication between you and the universe and what you believe in is clear, right? So it's okay, every time I see these giraffes, remember a couple episodes ago, the giraffes kept showing up, and I didn't know what they meant? Okay, so I called up the giraffe, so I want to tell you what it means. The spiritual meaning of giraffes means peace, gentleness, and sincerity, okay? So just so you guys know that that's actually what the meaning of the giraffes are, right? But that may not be the meaning of the card. The meaning of the card may be something, actually it's encouragement, and so that still kind of fits. But maybe when you see this card of giraffes, you went on a trip to Africa, and in Africa, you were the happiest you've ever been. And so this card is going to remind you of the happiest you've ever been. And that may be a message that you need to hear in this moment. And that is up to you to understand, oh my God, this makes me think of this. Is that the message? Once again, yes, that's the message. If in your head you're is this what it's telling me? Yes, that is what it's telling you. And if that's what it's telling you, then what actions do you take now that you are clear, right? It is information, and the information it's giving you is helping you to get to know yourself better, helping you to clarify what you need to do, and supporting you in taking action for your highest and greatest good. You may not like the messages that you receive from the cards. You may not like the signs that you get, right? But just like a loving parent isn't always just saying yes to everything, the universe is that loving parent that will create obstacles when you need to have a detour, that will say no. I mean, the universe doesn't typically say no in that sense, but there will be a gearing off or a veering off or a distraction to get you off the road that you're on, to get you back on track. And if you trust that that relationship exists, and if you take the time to build that relationship with the universe, to put yourself out there and say, okay, I trust, I believe that when this comes up for me, I'm going to know what you're telling me, then you will always have an answer that is in alignment with your highest self. You may not want to act, and take action based on that answer, but you will have the answer. You will know what is the best route to take. And then you can decide whether or not you want to take that route or you want to go a different way. And if you feel too much resistance, how can you maybe try and move closer to that direction, right? Your relationship with spirit is completely based on your commitment to that relationship, your commitment to showing up, your commitment to communicating, your commitment to accepting the information and accepting those answers that you get as what you asked, and then being able to navigate your life according to that information. That's really how you co-create with spirit, where you're like, this is what I want. Now show me the best way to get there. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing me the sign that will get me to what I want. Thank you, thank you, thank you for guiding me in the direction that I need to go. So if I see a this, it will be my yes. And if I see a this, it will be my no. And if I don't get an answer, maybe I have to ask the question again or ask it in a different way. But honestly, I often think if it's not a hell yes, if you don't get a definitive yes, it's probably a no. Or at the very least, a not right now. And you have to think for yourself how best to take that information and move forward with it. Okay, so let's ask the universe with these cards, because we're going to wrap it up right now. What does the universe want to tell us about communicating and our relationship with it? Like, how can we receive the messages more clearly to know that we are connected with the universe? Okay, let's see. Okay. Look at the card. You can't make this up. I just shuffled them, okay? It's the come together card. It's the giraffes, okay? We're going to go back to the giraffe spiritual meaning. The giraffes can help you gain self-confidence. As a spirit animal, the giraffe symbolizes peace, gentleness, and sincerity. To feel close to your spiritual guide in your daily life, you can choose to wear a bracelet representing him. Okay, that's, whatever, it went too much. But giraffe medicine, right? So the giraffe symbol is about self-love, self-acceptance, intuition and uniqueness, communication with yourself, others, and spirit. I mean, come on. Access to knowledge from higher dimensions, and the ability to see above problems and future trouble spots. So this card, this come together card, is telling you directly that the universe, that you developing your relationship with the universe is going to help you build self-confidence. It's going to help you build self-acceptance. It is going to help you increase your intuition, right? And it is the communication tool that you need in order for you to be connected with the universe. Co-creation, right? Coming together is about co-creation with the universe. And that can only be done when you are showing up in sincerity, in authenticity, and with kindness and compassion for yourself and for others. So that's like straight from spirit. I can't even believe this is the card that we pulled after all that. All right. So I want you to go today, and I want you, and I want you guys to write it down in the comments if you do this. Okay. I want you to think about whatever you have going on today, right? It doesn't have to be a serious problem. It doesn't have to be something big, but I want you to just think about something, and I want you to ask the universe for a sign. I want you to tell the universe, I want to see this. And maybe you want to do this if it's a yes, this if it's an oh, it's up to you. You don't have to. You can just simply say, I want a sign, and this is my sign. Show me this sign. Tell me you're paying attention. Start setting that intention. And if you want to share what sign you're asking for, go right ahead. Or if you simply just want to comment below and tell me, like, I asked for a sign, and I will root for you to get that sign from the universe. And then please come back and let me know if you did get that sign. I would love to hear from you, because the universe is always communicating with you. Your guides, your spirit team, God, your higher consciousness is constantly trying to guide you in the right direction, right? But we close ourselves off to that information because sometimes it's inconvenient, or we don't want it, or we don't even realize that it's there. And so that's what part of the work is here. It's like, okay, you don't know you're getting signs, fine. Ask for a sign, ask for a connection, ask to build this relationship and become closer with your higher consciousness, and make an active effort in changing that relationship if you don't feel connected, if you don't feel like you are tuned into your intuition. Let's start taking steps to make that happen, to shift that, so that you can have total confidence in whatever messages you hear and receive from the universe. Okay. And in the meantime, if you need support or help, or maybe you want some more information, maybe you need someone to hold your hand as you confront some of the challenges in your life, and it may be very hard for you to just simply, ask for a sign, well, then please reach out to me. You can send me a message on any of the social media channels, or send me an email. Please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. I have some sessions available. I can do some one-on-one stuff. Let me know. And don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube at Me First TV. And don't forget to get your free guide. Just check the description and you can get a quick reference guide so that you can get some help in calibrating your energy. In the meantime, I am off to do the rest of my day. I will be back tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Love you all, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye. I'm saying bye, and I don't see where I can turn off this. Why can't I see it? That's very weird. Okay, you guys can just, oh, there it is. Okay.